Alright, winter is here and also the update to the DJI Mavic 3. Now, if you watched my review previously, you know that I had my issues with this product being released prematurely and it was basically half-baked. But let's see if this update changes our opinion and justifies the steep price tag. Let's get right into it. Ooh, look at this backdrop. I mean, it's a little bit chilly and windy, but I can't think of a better place to fly the drone and test out this update. Let's get a takeoff spot ready here. Look, isn't it made for a drone to take off? In fact, actually, there has been already an update in December. I have not updated it since. So this massive update is really promising, especially from a filmmaker's perspective. I had a few issues that impeded me using the drone properly. I also got my ND filters now. Let's see what this new update brings. So one major issue that I had when it came out, the drone had lock profile, but it didn't have the color display assist, which basically it puts a LUT on top of the lock footage that you see on your controller. So it was basically very difficult to use the lock profile when you're flying in order to see if you're sharp, if you're properly exposed. That has changed. You can just easily enable it here as the color display assist and can use D-Lock without any issues. So really excited about that. Another thing that they changed is around the zoom. So you see me here standing and now we're shooting 5.1K, and if I hit the function button and the wheel, I can zoom in slowly to 2x zoom. Now that's a digital zoom, but with the 5.1K footage, it actually, I mean, I have to look it up on the bigger display, but from what I can see here in the first place, it looks quite good. And another piece they updated around the zoom is actually on this Explorer mode, the 7x zoom camera that the drone comes with. Now, I was actually excited about this feature, but didn't see like too many applications in the professional space around it because it is still a soft image. Now they added more sharpening to it. Now adding sharpening in camera is always a little bit dodgy, but let's figure out and let's see if this new upgraded 7x zoom looks better. I'm gonna film myself now for a little bit. We have the 2x zoom here. Then we go into 4x. This is all still digital, but now it switches over into the 7x zoom, and it's a little underexposed actually. Now you still don't have too many of the manual changes. It still only shoots in the standard color profile, not log, but by the looks of it, it looks quite decent. Let's fly it over there, over to Lakeshore Drive and see if it gets some nicer shots. Also, my hands are absolutely freezing, but look at this frozen lake. I mean, that's only what you get when you have cold temperatures and freeze your hands off. Alright, yeah, we have some traffic. Let's zoom in here. We can press the function button and use the zoom button. Now, let's see if I can hit it to focus. It keeps searching the focus. I don't know. Alright, I have to check it out in post. To me, it looks decent. Let's like check out some of the skyscrapers. If this looks better, because I had some soft issues with those before. Let's do like a little bit of a parallax shot here. See this searching of the focus, that I don't like. You would have to swap into manual focus if you want to keep it, I guess. Okay, the wind chill is too crazy. I'm gonna get inside, warm up a little and shoot another time. Ooh. Okay, another day, and even colder to do. It's minus 10 degrees, feels like minus 21 or so with the wind chill, but we have a beautiful sunset waiting for us over there. So let's get up the drone and see what we get. Definitely want to test the new master shots and quick shots as well as the hyperlens. Oh, one thing that is definitely an upgrade is the advanced settings that you can now easily access when you want to change the aperture, exposure time, etc., etc. That's a big win for filmmakers, certainly, and photographers. So let's get this thingy up in the air. It's beautiful. I mean, the colors But again, people are telling me that, like, everyone is experiencing the same thing. Since the update, the GPS signals seem to be weaker and it takes longer for the drone to connect. So that's definitely something to consider. I'm out here with my buddy Doug, who is flying the Mavic 3 as well. Our friends the seagulls are around us all the time. Okay, so they have added master shots, which is basically giving you, it just does it automatically, a bunch of different kinds of shots based on where the subject is. I don't know if I trust it enough to do it here. I mean, we're half over the water. Will it fly over to make sure? Wait, master shots only works in 4K 30 and not in log footage either? Okay, so that disqualifies it for me already, because I want to shoot log in 24 frames per second. Okay, good to know. Update. You know, that's a limitation here. Another features added are on the photography side. Finally, they added panorama, which is something that I used actually quite a lot at the volcano. And also, I'm a big fan of these photospheres. I upload them actually to Google Maps. I will take one now and then upload it to Google Maps and leave the link down in the description so you can check it out. But let's get the drone up a little bit higher and take a panorama photosphere. Great opportunity to warm your hands. It just takes these photos now in all directions. You can give it a little grade in Photoshop afterwards. In Lightroom, that's what I do. And then you can just upload it to Google Maps and boom, done. It's actually way faster than it used to do it. It took way longer before. It's done already. What else? So the quick shots, those are the modes where you can just like steadily, it locks onto your point of interest and then can do what they call a droney, which is basically a selfie where you kind of just let it go and it goes out in the distance and it reveals you in your environment. They have like a satellite, no, what's it called? Like a rocket. They have rocket, which is like top down, goes up. And then asteroid. Let's try asteroid because that's a fun thing to do. Come on over here, Duck. You're gonna be in the photo. 2, 1. I think now, so it goes up and now it takes, I think it's actually a photosphere that it takes. Quick pit stop inside to just warm up and also check out some footage, but aerial videos particularly benefit more than any other type of video from the use of music and sound effects to bring in and inject a portion of emotion. And this is where our sponsor of today's videos, Artlist, comes into play, a music subscription service for creators and filmmakers. Good quality music is one of those key components that up-levels your production, and sound effects bring your footage to life, like I've done in the intro sequence with the water, ice and wind sounds. Artlist used to have only a professional plan that was billed annually, but the great news is that they recently introduced their personal plan. It's a monthly subscription for $14.99 USD with full access to their music and sound effects catalog made for social media filmmakers. There's a link to their website in the video description below so you can check out the Artlist library yourself, but I'm curious to hear which one is your favorite song. Let me know down in the comments below, but now let's go back to Siberia. Focus track is something that I also finally added and that I wanted to try because you can now also adjust the angle it films you at. Apparently it's not available when you shoot at 5.1K at 24 frames per second, but if you dial it down to 4K, it is enabled. I'm gonna try it out now. Give it over to Doug as a safety precaution. Is it following me? Oh, it's following both of us. Come on. Ah, here we go. It's always beautiful to shoot the Chicago skyline. It's just gorgeous buildings, beautiful architecture, nice reflections with the colors, especially around sunset. The light is bouncing back and forth between the buildings. Another thing they added for the Mavic 3 Cine is that hyper speed, super fast data download. If you record in ProRes and onto the 1 terabyte onboard hard drive, you definitely benefit now from a faster data transfer to your hard drive to your computer. Certainly a benefit if you're one of the lucky ones with the Cine version. I'm also happy to report that the battery life doesn't seem to be too much impeded by the minus 15 degrees Celsius that we have right now. So good on you, good on you. I've never had issues, honestly. I've tried it last year as well and despite the fact that these drones are up in the air where it's even colder and you have the wind chill as well, I'm impressed. All right, day number 3, another day. It's actually even colder, minus 20 degrees, feels like minus 25, but the lake is steaming, so let's get up the drone again and just get a few more shots and see how it looks. You know what, let's try another hyperlapse. Yesterday I wasn't really happy with it. Let's get one up here and let's look at this sunrise here. Woo, beautiful. All right, we're taking the next hyperlapse now, so I can also warm up my hands. It's really the fingers that are going really fast if you have just these thin gloves on. It's a very jittery hyperlapse, but you will get the idea. All right, has the upgrade changed my opinion about the Mavic 3? Yes, it's certainly now a well-rounded drone, especially as a filmmaker. The addition of color assist on the log profile, this LUT that you put on, as well as the addition to access the settings a little bit easier, is definitely an improvement. The addition of all these quick shots, master shots, and so on and so forth, it's not super important to me. Do I wish that the zoom camera, the 7x zoom camera, has log profile and can shoot in 24 frames per second? Yes. My feature request to DJI would be to also manipulate the function button so that I can actually click the function button and adjust the aperture with the wheel instead of the zooming in. If you have a Mavic Mini, S Air 2 or whatever they call the smaller ones, it would be certainly an upgrade going to the Mavic 3, especially on the camera front. If you have the Mavic 2 Pro, image-wise, I don't see a huge improvement, but certainly, and this is very important obviously as filmmakers as well, is the flight time. It's clearly improved even in this very crazy conditions. It doesn't make much of a difference to the battery life, so definitely a huge improvement. But as always, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. I hope you enjoyed this different kind of video where I take you along. Let me know down in the comment section. But as always, have a good morning, have a good night, whenever and wherever you are around this beautiful planet. Bye bye. It's cold.